My favorite rappers, Project Pat. That song was called "Take the Charge." I forgot to. Damn, hold up. I had to put the thing in it where I have to say that I don't that song. But before I do that, yo, what up? It's Air Moses, and this video is called the superpowers of the 12 Zodiac and how to activate them. Now, before I explain what they are specifically, I want you to know the difference between a superpower and a psychic ability. Well, the ones that I'm going to give you, they are more they are more practical. They have to do with the physical body and the mind more than the actual soul, okay? So, it's really important that you understand that these, if you don't believe in psychic abilities or God or the universe or anything like that, science proves that all of these things are totally practical to achieve. I'm going to go from Aries to Pisces and explain what these superpowers are, how to activate them, and all of those things. Now, if you want a personal reading on how you can activate them personally, if you want more of an understanding on how to activate them, you already know. Come to me, inbox me, and we will talk about the price that needs to be paid for you to have your own personal instructions on how to activate these superpowers. Okay. Before I go into the actual list, I will tell you this. The theme is going to be pretty consistent in respect to each zodiac gets their superpower from the preceding zodiac. So, for example, Tauruses are typically or stereotyped to be stubborn, and you guys get that from Aries being very passionate and being very determined. Okay. Cancers are stereotyped to be very emotional, and you guys get that from Geminis being stereotyped to be bipolar. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I channeled this at work. I wrote it down on my productivity sheet that I have to fill out every day, which I think is honestly very inconducive to my productivity personally. But I'm not a master genius businessman, so what do I know? I'm just Aaron Moses. All right. First, we have Aries. Now, I'm going to go pretty in depth for Aries because I've actually done the research. Why? I don't know. I can't understand why. But for Aries, Aries' superpower, superhuman ability is super speed. Now, the importance of this is to understand that super speed is totally practical to activate because having super speed, the science of it is essentially being able to perceive time slower than it's actually being perceived by the rest of the world. Okay, I'm going to give you one example. If you are a sprinter, if you're on the track team, the way that they teach you to run faster is to push off earth to run faster. The harder that you push off the ground, the faster you will go forward. That's not how you gain super speed. How you gain super speed is by mentally perceiving that seconds, that time is moving slower in order for you. Can you guys hear me? In order for you to take more steps per second, per minute, per hour, what have you. How you doing, Farrell? How you doing, Capri, Sandra? Everybody, welcome, welcome. Thank you. So, with that being said, Aries' psychic power and Martian's psychic power is the ability to see sight. Okay, Aries, for all my Aries out there, if you can master your ability to see, that third eye, you will have this ability to have super speed. Okay, but the real way to activate super speed for an Aries, for a Martian, is through patience, is through mastering patience. Now, ironically, I wrote down patience as in patience and patience, not as in the patience that I just spoke to you. So, gaining patience through having patience. You see what I'm saying? Giving, making sure that you are charitable, because being charitable and blessing people with your time, as an arrogant Aries would say, will give you the ability to have super speed, will give you more energy. Also, being able to learn free energy, learning the specific methods to give you free energy, because this is more of a mental, is more of a mental power. It's more of a super mental power. Okay, the ability. So essentially, chronokinesis and being able to condition your body to be able to go through those phases. You can learn chronokinesis all you want, but if your body is not going to perform, it doesn't really matter. So next, Taurus. Taurus's power, superpower, superhuman ability is instant manifestation. And I forgot the actual spiritual scientific name for it, but pretty much like you see on The Craft, my favorite movie. My second favorite movie being Hustle and Flow. Fun facts. Um, The Craft, Charmed, anything that shows magic as something that you can just, oh, fire. That's not how magic works. I mean, you of course know that's not how magic works. Okay, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Harry Potter, that's not how anything works. Okay, not in my world. So a Taurus actually has this ability in Taurus. How you master that ability is through love. Okay, becoming one with the reservoir of admiration, of give and take, knowing love, mastering love. The affirmation that a Taurus, I need to stop doing this, but it's very calming. The affirmation that a Taurus needs to have is I am love. I embody love. Love does not feel depression. Love does not feel anxiety. Love is present, and I am love. I embody love. Okay, Taurus? So if you want that, okay, you need to be one with love. There's nothing wrong with love. Okay, Taurus? You can tell strangers, I love you. And if they have daddy issues or mommy issues, they're going to be like, you don't even know me. Why you want to give me a hug? No, stop. Okay, it's okay. You want that. You want that person to meditate on, why did that person tell me that he or she loved me and they don't even know me? Because you have a broken heart, and when your dog died, they chopped it up and they put it in the chili, and it wasn't, that's not a fun time. You have issues, person who can't accept the phrase I love you from a stranger. Okay, and Taurus, that's how you activate fire, instant manifestation. Okay, so next, Gemini, your superpower is flight, being able to fly. The download that I got was that the slaves that jumped off of the boats that were being brought from Africa, that knew what was up and flew instead of drowned, they were Geminis. Okay, most of them were either Geminis, or they were mentored by Geminis, or they were mentored by people who mentor Geminis. Flight is a Merc- Mercurian, Mercurian, Mercurian Say it 3 times. Ability. Okay. Travels. Air. Hashtag flight boss. Okay. And the way that you gain this, Gemini, is through having that conversation with Set. Okay, the god of chaos, the Egyptian god of chaos. Because what I channeled is flight comes through the mastery of the conversation with the legs. And the legs represents to me set, survival, balance of chaos, love, giving, taking, messages, the ear, the mouth. Okay. So if you're a Gemini, you need to master flight. And the only way to do that, well, not the only way, if you're a Gemini, if you have any of these 12 signs, come to me and I'll give you a reading on how you need to be mastering what you need to master to activate these superpowers. Okay. But for Gemini, it's the legs. Now, if you're a Cancer, your superhuman ability, and these are all totally, if you do the research, quantum physics, totally obtainable. All of these superpowers are totally obtainable. Cancer, your superpower is the manipulation of the weather. Okay, of weather. Totally practical. Why Gemini? I mean, Cancer, Moon. Okay, I'm going to give you a little side note. How you manipulate weather is through the pineal gland. And I can manipulate weather. It's amazing. It's easy. It's fun. You know, all you have to do, if say there's a tornado coming, all you have to do is go to, I don't remember the website, but Doppler radars, look at them and visualize them as what you want them to be. That's one way. But the way that Cancer needs to master manipulating the weather is through silence. Is to do this. The language of silence, Cancer. That's how you manipulate the weather. Silence. Being quiet. Okay. Also, speaking to a lot of people using your cancerous abilities to draw information and emotions out of people, taking in a lot of secrets, but not telling a soul because I know cancers are not that good at doing that. One of some of my favorite people have been cancers, but they haven't been able to hold water, pun intended. All right. Yes, it's been a long day, and that's okay. So now, Leo. Leo, unsurprisingly, if that's a word, your ability is to create, well, I don't like to use the word create, but to manipulate photons. I wrote down create light, but energy is never created nor destroyed, it's only transmutated. So we'll just say, for all intents and purposes, transmutating all other energies into photons and manipulating light, photons, or maybe even darkness as well. I didn't even think about that. Shadows. So the ability to do that, very important, because I didn't know what this meant at first. Because the universe just said justice. And I was like, justice? And the universe just like, justice. And I was like, all right, just us. So the universe also told me the way that you need to be mastering this is through your journeys, is through learning, is through understanding the different poles of life, understanding, having a deep understanding of poverty as well as wealth, mania as well as depression, happiness as well as sadness, cleanliness as well as filth, journeys, learning that there's that there are, the lifestyle of the 1%, and there's the garbage people of Cairo. If you don't know what that means, just Google it. It's not hard to find out what that means. Okay, I don't want to go too deep because I'm just trying to keep my energy up at this point. So learning balance, basically, learning balance, going on these journeys mentally, emotionally, spiritually, with people, with knowledge, with information, with wisdom, with understanding. So Leo, balance. That's how you learn. That's how everybody learns everything. All right, so Virgo. Virgo, your ability, your superhuman ability is breathing underwater. Very interesting. Very interesting. The ability to collect, I mean, a lot of people don't know how fish actually exist. Fish actually can breathe, because that's what the gills are for. But they have to collect the oxygen underwater. And again, every time I do any readings for Virgos, it's pretty much collecting the information, meditating on it, and recycling the information, as well as taking in new information, transmutating it, and using that information. Something that you thought was totally useless, but using it for the lifestyle that you're living. So, the ability for Virgo, the superhuman ability being Virgo breathing underwater, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. And then also, we learned that in the ancient languages that virgin does not, it doesn't mean that you've never had sexual intercourse. It just means that you're under the age of 18. Virgin just means that you're a teenager. So that makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense when we apply the fact that Virgos are stereotyped to be bipolar, just as Gemini is, because it is the airiest of the earth signs. So your ability is breathing underwater like a mermaid or something, like a siren. I don't want to go too deep into that, but if you make the connection with virgins and sirens, you can probably understand where I would want to go if I knew exactly what my demographic was thinking. Right. So the ability of breathing underwater should be mastered through what the freak? Oh, learning learning what chronokinesis is and learning the methods in which people manipulate time. Chronokinesis is pretty much like telekinesis, chrono time, obviously. So now I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna do the rest, but I want to give you this. We have a connection between Aries, Virgo, and Aquarius because these are all very important as far as learning how to manipulate time, patience, and learning mental mastery as far as the perception of time, which is very important at this point. Now we have Libra. Libra's ability, of course, telekinesis. Okay. Libra's special ability, telekinesis, moving objects, inanimate objects with the mind. Okay. Now, the universe, all it said simply was fighting. So, what I'm going to take from that, is that Libra needs to be interacting with. And I've always encouraged all Libras to interact with more fiery signs, such as Leos. One thing with Leos, their calling is a lot of the times to interact with more Cancers and vice versa. Cancers, I always tell you guys to interact with more Leos. And if not Leos, Aries. And if you're a Cancer and you interact with a lot of Aries, you're going to run into some very important Leos at some point. Because Cancers, there's really two types of Cancers: the very overly empathetic Cancers and the sociopathic Cancers. Those who need to be, bro, stop caring so much. Other people have emotions, but they're not yours. There's billions of them, but there's only one you. So relax, okay? That is the message that fire signs have to give Cancer. And with that being said, Libra, you need to be interacting with those Cancers who have been seasoned by those fire signs. And if not, interact with some, go straight to the source. Okay? Go straight to some Aries, some Martians. Go straight to some Leos. Side note, the plural for Aries is not Aries. Okay, it's Martians, the plural. If there's one Aries in the room and another Aries walks in the room, there's Martians in the room. Those Martians over there, okay? Not Arieses. That doesn't even sound right. That's too many S's. Okay. Next, we have Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, you guys, this is a little bit more of a psychic ability. Oh, you know what? Thank you, Taurus. Now, what the universe told me to write down was dimension jumpers, but a Taurus also told me the ability to to be a chameleon is your ability, Scorpio. The ability to appeal to the masses at one time, the ability to get people on one accord that have nothing to do with each other. Okay. If you have all of these demographics, if you were, if I was a Scorpio, I would be a lot richer. I would be a lot more happy. I would be a lot happier. Okay. Why? Because I have all these people from all these different walks of life. Some like when I play Project Pat, some like when I play Amy Winehouse, some like when I have my shirt off, some like this sauce, whatever. Can Scorpio, you guys have the ability, you guys are the have the ability to have that super charm. So what I'm getting is I forgot what it's called, but it's pretty much the ability to manipulate people's emotions. Okay. I wrote down dimension jumpers, but when my sister talks to me, my Taurus sister talks to me, she always says, Moses, you have to be able to be a chameleon. You have to be able to appeal to people and bring your energy up here, bring your energy down here. But still not be not losing yourself completely. So, Scorpio, I think that message was for you. Of course, because I think she's a Scorpio moon or Scorpio ascendant or something. It's very, she has some Scorpio stuff going on. I can't remember exactly. But your ability to manipulate people's emotions and the ability to do that is going to be gained through knowledge, through knowing, through doing actual research, because you have that charm. And I think that's probably where I get it from because I have Pluto and Scorpio. You have that, and then it's opposite Taurus and Venus, Venus and Taurus. You have that ability, you have a superhuman charm, you have a supernatural charm, and you say things to people and they just get hypnotized. And you're like, I can't believe that even worked. You didn't even say much to that person to be able to bring them to your dimension or to be able to appeal to them in a specific way, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically, actually, is what Scorpio's natural gift is. So awesome. So, Sagittarius. Now, this is pretty typical. But you have that Hawkeye, Sagittarius. You have the ability, and I should have actually looked up the scientific or the spiritual titles for these abilities. But you have the ability, you have super aim, pretty much. All right, hold on. Let me see what that's actually called. Super aim, like a psychic. Hold up. How can I even? But pretty much like what? Immaculate accuracy. I like that. I like that. Okay, so you have, now we're gonna call it divine accuracy. Divine accuracy. And this can be not only applied to throwing a freaking basketball in a hoop, but being able to pinpoint somebody's intentions, to be able to just take that. Just take that. I'm just gonna P Diddy you. Just take it. Okay. Be creative. Understand what you need to be doing. But what does accuracy mean to you as a Sagittarius? I'm not just talking about driving. I'm not just talking about. I'm talking about being able to read people. I'm talking about, you were in love with this person for over 2 years and you wanted to be celibate in this relationship because you didn't want to tarnish the connection that you had with sex. But then the first time when you got married on the honeymoon, you knew all her spots, and she was just looking in your eyes and was tearing up, and you're like, because I'm a vegetarian, baby. Right. That's your ability. I mean, not being able to put people to sleep the first time. That's not what I'm talking about exactly. But I mean, if that's one of your superpowers, we have a lot in common. So, Sagittarius, I want you to really meditate on what divine accuracy, immaculate accuracy means on a physical, spiritual, emotional, mental level in every way. Okay? Because it's totally worth it. Now, what does Sagittarius needs to be able to achieve this divine immaculate accuracy? DM, DM, divine immaculate. That what you need is wisdom. What you need is knowledge, but in action. That's what wisdom is: knowledge in action, emotional knowledge. When you apply emotions to knowledge, when you take this knowledge and you move it, okay? When you actually go into life and you move it, when you read half the book and then you try it and you're like, ah, that should have worked. Then you read the rest of the book and you're like, that makes a lot of sense, but I already know how to put my drip in it and finish the rest of this book, and then you put it together because that's what I like to do personally. So next we have Capricorn. Capricorn, your personal superhuman ability is teleportation, Markaba type action. All right. What you need is understanding to be able to develop and master this superpower, Capricorn. What this is going to do for you, we have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in a row, not on accident. So for my Capricorns, understanding is going to bring you a specific amount of peace. A lot of what Capricorn lacks is spontaneity, is peace, is is natural balance because Capricorns like to create balance. This is why Capricorns and Libras have a thing. I don't want to say they're perfect, but they definitely have a thing. So understanding for a Capricorn is important overall. Like even without taking into consideration that understanding is ultimately going to supercharge your Merkaba, taking in this knowledge and this wisdom and and filtering these emotions and applying the emotions is going to give you is going to give you a spark that's going to automatically help you to teleport, especially because it's Capricorns. That's just what we do. I'm a Capricorn ascendant, but I definitely vibe with the Capricornian Saturn like energies. Okay, so understanding what exactly. Next, we have two more Aquarius. Now, everybody knows what Aquarius does, okay? And this is where we're going to go back to Aries. Everybody knows what Aquarius does. Your superhuman ability is chronokinesis. What chronokinesis is I mean, not pretty much, is controlling time, is being able to blinking is a vampiric ability typically, or a draconian ability typically. It's being able to experience time slower than the masses, or to experience it faster. This actually was asking me today when I was at work. He was like, hey, do you want to take the lighter load because i'm trying to do this I'm trying to do this. The manager asked me. I was like, no, I want the heavier load. I want to get the most work at one time. And he said, why? I said, because the faster you move, the faster time moves. Boom. That's an Aquarius statement right there. Because, I mean, Mike, shout out to Mystical Illuminations, shout out to Mike. He said Aries are Aquarius. What I channeled was Aquarius was the original Aries. So, um, time traveling. Not time travel. Well, that is technically time traveling. But traveling would be able to go back and forward and side to side, slide to the left, slide to the right, one hop this time, two hops this time, Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on a simple, just superhuman, normal, superhuman level. Okay, chronokinesis, being able to blink. What blinking is skipping time, pretty much putting your brain into autopilot so you don't remember anything, so you don't collect any information consciously, so you can go from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock without even feeling it. It might feel like 30 minutes. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun. That's an Aquarian term. That's an Aquarian phrase. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys one tip, especially for the Aquarians. You already know this. One tip, if you don't have the energy or the mental strength to blink, what you can do is listen to the same song over and over and over. Repetition helps you time travel forward. Now, emotions helps you time travel backwards. Emotions and avoid mind. Either repetition, listening to the same song over and over and over and over, or doing the same thing over and over and over and over. Now, if you want to walk, let's say if you want to walk to a store that's a mile away and you usually don't walk, keep walking that same path. Keep walking that same exact path. Because the more you do it, the less you have to think about it. You don't even have to watch where you're going. You don't even have to look both ways when you cross the street. I wouldn't, no, wait. Yeah, you do. You already know what I'm saying. So, repetition, which is definitely an Aquarian thing. So, next, to activate this, focus. Focus. Meditate on a clock, not a digital clock. I would never recommend anybody meditating on any electronics, but get a clock. Well, I guess that's technically electronic, but get a clock. You know, the one with the second hand, the big hand, the little hand, and meditate on that. Meditate on it and watch that second hand. Watch it. Watch the whole clock. Okay, focus. Focus. Meditation. Meditation. Meditation heals all. Okay, they say love heals all. You gotta meditate to be able to love, baby. So, lastly, but not leastly, Pisces. Now, Pisces, you already know what you do. Pisces. Pisces' ability is manipulating the genes, manipulating the genetics. And I forgot what that's called too. I want to say it's called genokinesis, but I don't think that's a real term. So manipulating the genetics. Now, if you guys really want to know the real deal Holyfield sugar-free version of manipulating the genetics, check out my guy Prince EI. He will tell you exactly what you need to know and able, not enable, in order for you guys to manipulate your genetics in every way and always possible under this sun, that sun, his son, her son, and it's gonna go down like Funky Town. Okay, but if anything, you can also come to me. We'll read your cards, go through your chart, and do what needs to be done in order for you to activate your superpower. Okay, but Pisces, manipulating your genetics. If you have blue eyes and you want green eyes, if you have green eyes and you want brown eyes, if you have brown eyes and you want browner eyes, okay, manipulating genetics. If you want to be a little bit taller, if you want to be a baller, if you want a girl, that's fine. So you could call her. That's you, Pisces, like 110%. So what you need to be doing in order to manipulate your genetics is understanding what Pisces is in totality, what ether is, what that blue ether is. Take a trip to Atum, okay? Understanding that blue ether, understanding what Pisces is. And I mean, sadly, this is so like, if I was Pisces and I was about to say or hear what I was about to say, I would not be happy with what I'm about to say. But Pisces, the ultimate way to understand how to manipulate your genetics is understanding the 12 zodiacs. It's understanding the total zodiacal universe, understanding astrology. Pisces is the only way to actually understand what Pisces is, because Pisces is actually the first zodiac, guys. Pisces is not the last zodiac, it's the first. Pisces is also not a water sign. Pisces is an ether sign. This is why we need to understand that blue ether. Now, if you want me to make a video on blue ether, which is a higher vibrational version of the ether that we're taught, if you watch Dragon Ball Super, you probably know where I'm going with this. Okay, if you saw what Vegeta did to that purple ether, to that purple energy, that's a real thing. Okay, it's actually blue ether. If you understand Neptune, if you understand Uranus, okay, you understand what the blue ether is and the effects that it has on this universe, because blue ether is not even supposed to be here, but because what we are, who we are, we have access to it. Yeah, that's why we're different than animals and plants, because we have access to the blue ether and they don't. Okay, answered all your questions, so don't go any elsewhere. Yeah, obviously I gave you a lot. I've been channeling, kind of tired. I'm a lot of tired. I have a human body, and things happen, So I hope I enlightened you guys, because that's what my name means. I'm trying to be like Nipsey Hussle when I grow up. So that's it, guys. Oh yeah, I definitely recommend these. They are not paying me to do this, but yeah, CBD gummies. These are pretty fire. I can't wait to get some Kush and combine the two. That's gonna be fire, for real, for real. But guys, share this video, like it, so everybody can get this information. If I get, how many shares did I get? I don't even want to know right now. But if I get 25 shares, I'll go live tonight and we'll do some free readings from the Egyptian deck as well as my numerology deck, because I really miss you guys. I've been going through a lot of stuff and it's over now because it's Aries gang, baby. So just make sure to give back to your community. Make sure to do your daily good deed. If you haven't done a good deed today, all you have to do is click that share button and it's gonna go down like Funky Town, okay? It's Aaron Moses. I'm feeling nutritious. I'm about to make love to some witches. All right. Love you. Peace. Wait. Thank you, Mary.